Hello and welcome to another episode of Toya Talks Wrestling. Today we're going to talk about Smackdown, March 21st, 2025. You know, I think here in America, we're spoiled. We're hella spoiled. To the fact that I'm saying this because Smackdown last night was just, it was terrible. It was so bad. I was like falling asleep. I mean, I was probably really tired, but I was like, it was just not good. It was so not good. I didn't even want to watch like people stream about it. Like, I usually watch it and then I watch like a streamer who streams about it. I didn't even want to watch him because that's how boring it was. I'm just like, I mean, there's some moments and stuff like that, but it's kind of like first of all, we need to go back to 2 hours, man. It's like, what are you doing? And it's like, and I say that we're spoiled because maybe we're just so used to just having like wrestling all the time, and then they go to international places and these people are like screaming and yelling and seem so happy, and I'm just like, you know what, if I couldn't watch wrestling like as often as I could, even like back in the day, it's like the only thing you really need like back in the day, like in the 80s, 90s, is like a TV. Right? You would catch wrestling. I was talking to my friend Tim earlier Friday afternoon, and he was talking about how it was like some things that he couldn't watch. He couldn't watch WWE all the time because it wasn't always available. So I'm thinking like, you know what? We're just spoiled. We're over here is just spoiled. We want what we want when we want, right? It's just, I don't know. Like, I want to be. I want to be grateful that I'm able to watch wrestling the way I can watch wrestling and stuff like that, but it's like some of these things that are happening on SmackDown is just boring as fuck to me. But I'm just saying, if I didn't have the opportunity that I had, I'd probably be grateful to watch wrestling and stuff like that. But I just don't. Well, here's the thing, like, people say it doesn't feel like WrestleMania. I don't know. I've never like been like, it feels like WrestleMania, or it feels like SummerSlam, or it's just another like PLE coming up next, and I'm more what happens at the show, because I don't know what's gonna happen there. I can get excited for something and then be let down. So I'm just like, I don't build myself up to that thing. I go in, I see what happens. If I'm excited, cool. If I'm not, whatever. I'll bitch and complain about it to somebody. But it's like, I don't set myself up for failure. So it's like, I'm just waiting, right? I don't care. I'm like, well, it feels like WrestleMania. Doesn't feel like WrestleMania. It feels like WrestleMania because it's in April. That's how I feel. Like, I'm like, it's April time. It's like two things that I know for sure. Me and Tim's friend's anniversary and WrestleMania. Right? This I know for sure. So it's like, I don't know. But yeah, not Raw, but SmackDown was pretty blah. But let's go ahead and talk about some of the things that happened on SmackDown. Let's start with the ladies. So you had a kind of like a interview between Tiffany Stratton and Charlotte Flair. They were like on screen, but they were like doing the split screens or whatever. And, basically, Charlotte Flair said the reason why she picked Tiffany, because Tiffany seemed so desperate to, fight her, and has this weird imagination that people compare her to Charlotte, and Charlotte's like, I get compared to everybody because I'm the queen. That's what happens. People bow down to me when you're the queen. Everybody's compared to me, not just you. You're not that special, and everything else. And Tiffany's like, what do you mean I'm not special? I got the championship. I'm the champ, whatever, on my shoulders. I got the belt on my shoulder. La la la. It was basically going back and forth, just dissing each other out, just trying to, hype up our match for WrestleMania. I don't know if they did it, but we'll see. We'll see what happens. Tiffany did mention about like how Charlotte Flair, nobody wants her around and everything else like that. And Charlotte's like, whether they're woo me or boo me, they're acknowledging me. So I was like, and she got a point. she got a point there. So it doesn't matter. I don't know how this match is gonna go. Hopefully it goes good. Hopefully it goes well. Hopefully it's the passing of the torch and Charlotte doesn't win. That's what I'm hoping for, but I don't know. We'll see. Another thing that happened, we had Zelina Vega versus Piper Niven. Zelina Vega did a pretty awesome, Saturn DDT, I think that's called. It was a pretty awesome move and stuff like that. But at the end, she ends up losing to Piper Niven because of the distraction between Alba Fire and Chelsea Green. So I don't know what's going to happen there. I don't know what's going on. I don't know if Chelsea Green's going to defend her title against someone at WrestleMania, but we shall see. We shall see. The Jade Cargill versus Liv Morgan match. Liv Morgan ended up winning from Naomi when Naomi pretty much attacked Jade with one of the tag team belts, and Liv Morgan did the oblivion and ended up getting the pin. You know, Liv Morgan always gets lucky with these pins. Like, makes me just wonder how good of a wrestler really is she. Because every time she wins, it's because of somebody else's distraction or getting involved. It's like, how good is Liv Morgan? Like, really? If people keep constantly getting involved in her shit, I don't know. But she got the win. And then Naomi pretty much attacks Jade. And that was it. That was pretty much it. There was something before, because I think they had an interview with Liv, and Liv basically said she's going to finish what Naomi started and stuff like that. But I guess Naomi will finish what Naomi started. Oh yeah, Naomi had she was wearing something, and she was wearing caution, you have the cop, they'll put the caution stuff on the yellow tape caution stuff, or you know what I mean, so there was an accident or something like that, or so she was wearing the caution and stuff like that, and she was it was just crazy. I liked it a lot, but it's the match was okay. You could totally tell that Liv Morgan was pretty much carrying that match. I want Jade to just do better, because I'm she's too pretty not to just be a bad wrestler. But I don't know. I'm not saying she's a bad wrestler. I'm just saying that she just needs to do a little bit more. I was hoping that the time that she was gone, that she was doing some practicing or something, but maybe not. I think that is all for the women, so let's go ahead and talk about some men's stuff now. We had a tag match with Jimmy Uso and Damian Priest versus Drew McIntyre and Shinsuke Nakamura. It ended up being Damian Priest and Jimmy Uso who won, and then Drew McIntyre pretty much brutally attacked him. He was just punching him in the face over and over and over again, right? And Damian Priest did come up for a little bit to put his hands around Drew McIntyre's neck and said, "I will kill you." By the way, they said "I will kill you" a lot last night, I'm just saying. But anyways, "I will kill you," he said, and Drew McIntyre just starts punching him in the face again. It was just kind of hard to watch, to be honest with you. I was like, God damn, dude. And he basically he talked about how he screwed him over last WrestleMania and everything else like that, and all this other whatever. And they didn't really mention anything about this WrestleMania or anything like that. He basically beat the crap out of him and then walked away. And I know what you're thinking, because I was thinking the same thing. Where the fuck was Jimmy? Why didn't Jimmy jump in and save, fucking Damian Priest from Drew McIntyre? I couldn't tell you. I don't know what fucking Priest was. I mean, not Priest, but Jimmy was. I have no idea. Maybe he got attacked by Shinsuke or something. I don't know. But yeah, that was crazy. We had a match for the number one contender for LA Knight's United States title for next week. We had Jacob Fatu versus Braun Strowman. This match was pretty much even, no one really got a good lead of domination. You know, it's like sometimes Jacob will dominate and then Braun will come back, and then sometimes Braun was dominating and Jacob come back. At one point, you know, it seems like Braun was dominating Jacob and he was about to, like, you know, put him in his finisher and put the pin on him, and then here comes Tama Tonga comes in and he pretty much distracts Braun Strowman, and Braun Strowman kind of flips him into the ring, and he was about to do his move on him, his finisher, and then here comes Solo Sikoa, and Solo pretty much caused the DQ, so Braun Strowman ends up winning, and you know, they start attacking him, right? But they started, Solo and Tama Tonga started attacking Braun Strowman, and Jacob Fatu is looking at Solo Sikoa like, what the fuck are you doing? Like, well, why are you doing that? Like, why do you just cause a disqualification? Like, what are you doing here? Like, what the fuck, right? Eventually they were looking at each other like intensely, and he was looking at him, and they were looking at each other, and eventually Braun Strowman gets up and he starts attacking you know, Jacob and Tama Tonga and Solo, but you know, the number gang, you know, took advantage and they pretty much beat him down. Here comes LA Knight. LA Knight comes in and pretty much clears house and all this other stuff, and so that's the end of that. They ended up, you know, clearing out the ring, and Tama, Jacob, and Solo go up the ramp, and they're in the ring and stuff like that. So they have a match next week. More than likely, it's gonna be some kind of a screw job finish where either Jacob is gonna come in there and fuck shit up, or Solo but Jacob, or some shit like that, or anything like that. And they're going to have it to where it's either going to be a match at WrestleMania or maybe before Mania. I don't know. I'm not sure. But I don't know, because a lot of people are like saying that Jacob and Solo should have a match at WrestleMania. I'm like, maybe. But it's like there's nothing there. It's like just because there's like a little bit of tension there, but who gives a shit? like that you like I need something more. I need like something else besides, oh, you know, he interfered over here and he accidentally, you know, I need a little bit more than just a little bit of tension between the two to actually have some kind of a fight. Like, I can understand if this keeps happening where Solo keeps getting involved with Jacob Fatu's matches and it goes towards WrestleMania that way, I can understand, like, yes, then I would love to see Jacob versus Solo. But it's like, for me, like right now, there's not enough heat. It's lukewarm at best. It's like, okay, you know, sure, we can have it, but it's like, what's the point? It's like, what's the reason? like I think it would be awesome. I think it would be great and everything else, but it's like, oh, you know, I'm like, if Jacob goes to like WrestleMania and wins the title off of LA Knight in like a triple threat or whatever, then maybe we can start talking about, you know, Solo versus Jacob. You know what I mean? Maybe we can have that conversation then. But it's like right now, I personally don't see it. Maybe other people see it. I just don't see it yet. But we had Randy Orton, and he actually started the show. He comes out there, the crowd singing his song and everything else like that. He gets the microphone. He's about to say something, and then you hear Kevin Owens music, and Kevin Owens comes out, and he's in the ramp, you know, on the ramp way and stuff like that, and he's basically telling Randy Orton, he's like, I was wrong. I should not have pile drive you. You know, you didn't deserve it. He goes, Cody Rhodes deserved it. Sami Zayn deserved it. You don't deserve it. You know, I didn't want to do it. I was angry and mad, and I was letting my anger, you know, my emotions get to me, and I was letting my anger do the talking for me. Because you of all people should know what that's like, right? I think he was just trying to get to like Randy's good graces and on his good side, but like, you know what it's like to be angry all the time and listen to that anger and stuff like that. And he's like, we don't need to do this. Like, you don't need to like kick me in the head right? I go, he's like, the reason why I moved Carmelo Hayes out the way, because I don't want you to go back to that place where that anger comes from and stuff like that. Because, you know, instead of us fighting, we should come together, and we should be partners again, and tag team partners again, and get that gold and get that tag team championship, right? And Randy Orton's like, you know, I'm giving everything in my power not to come down out of this ring and kick your head in right now, right? Go down that ramp and kick your head in right now. But, you know, being a tag champions would be it's intriguing, right? It's intriguing. Let me think about it. No, right? What you did when you power drive me, you know what you did? You let the voices back in my head. You know what the voices are telling me right now, Kevin? They're telling me to kick your freaking head off your shoulder. That's what they're telling me right now. And he's like, you know, and then Kevin Owens like, come on, now you're better than this, stuff like that. And it's like, you know, I go, and basically, you know, Randy Orton basically challenged Kevin Owens at a match at WrestleMania. Says, I promise you, I will kick your head off your shoulders at WrestleMania. He goes, what stays at Vegas? He goes, what happens at Vegas stays at Vegas, except for you, Kevin Owens. Your fucking head gonna be kicked off your shoulders or some shit like that, right? And then they ended it with that. So he put up the challenge. Kevin Owens did not accept or deny it yet, but he will pretty much accept it. So that's pretty much our first match that pretty much was, I guess, being kind of accepted, but not really, but you know wrestling. So the last thing I would like to talk about was the altercations between Roman Reigns, Seth Rollins, and CM Punk. So we started off with Roman Reigns coming to the ring with his wise men, and you know, Roman's telling, they were in Italy, can't remember the name. I kept calling it bologna, but it's not called bologna. I forgot the name. I apologize. I kept calling it bologna because it kind of sounds like, the beginning it sounds like bologna, but it's not bologna. So I apologize. I'm not dissing Italy City. I just got the bologna stuck in my head, okay? Maybe I'm hungry. I don't know. Anyways, he was out there, Roman Reigns was out there. He told the Italy crowd to acknowledge him, allows your tribal chiefs. They acknowledged him. And he basically talked about how, like, CM Punk screwed him at Royal Rumble. So he screwed CM Punk at Madison Square Garden. How Seth Rollins almost killed him at the Royal Rumble. So he almost killed Seth Rollins at Madison Square Garden. And he said that it's going to take his time. He's going to be out there for 10, 15, 20 minutes. As long as he takes, and if anyone has a problem with it, anyone has anything to say about it, blah blah blah, they can come out. So then you had Seth Rollins come out, and of course, you know, the people sang his song for a while, and he finally was able to speak, and he's like, you just don't know what you did, right? You don't know what you did. You should have let me, you don't know how dangerous CM Punk is. You should have let me finish CM Punk in the chamber, right? But this ain't about CM Punk. This is about you and me, right? You know, you and me got history. We got, you know, it's like, I am nothing without you. You are nothing without me. We got chapters and chapters of stuff like that. But you know what? We got one more chapter to go, right? And he's about to take off his coat. You know, he was taking off his coat, and right, and then, you know, Roman Reigns is like putting down the mic and everything else, and I think they're about to fight, and then here comes CM Punk, and you know, people are chanting CM Punk and singing the Living Color song and everything else, and it was just a hyper good feeling. And you know, CM Punk had the microphone, and he's like basically telling Roman, like, I didn't screw you. It's Royal Rumble. That's how it works. It's every man for himself, right? And it goes, you wouldn't even be at the Royal Rumble if it wasn't for me saving your family's ass, right? Which, by the way, you owe me a favor, Paul Heyman. But we'll get to that later. I just want to thank you for bringing Roman Reigns here tonight on a silver platter for me. And then Roman Reigns looked at like Paul Heyman like, did you set me up? Like, did you set me up? And Paul Heyman's like, no, like, you know, he looked at him, he's like, look in the middle, right? And CM Punk pretty much attacks Roman Reigns, right? And they're fighting, and then Rollins gets in and he attacks Punk, and then Roman attacks Seth, and Seth attacks, and then Punk attacks Seth, and this person like that person, and back and back and blah blah blah. And they're all attacking, and here comes security and Nick Aldis and the refs and all these other freaking people, and they're just fighting all over the ring and everything else. And Roman was like hitting people with the stairs and shit like that. You had Punk on top of the announce table, you know, pointing at the WrestleMania sign, talking about he's the best in the world. And then they go over here and they grabbed him and they kicked his ass. And then and Seth got to Roman again. And then Punk got to Seth again. And it was just back and forth. And then Roman was kicking everyone's ass at one point. And he's pointing to the sign. And, you know, Seth's pointing to the sign. And I'm just like, yeah, like I said, like I had told him, I'm like, we're getting a triple threat match. He's like, I don't know. I'm like, no, I know. I know. Like, trust me. But you know, it wasn't confirmed. But I'm, you know, everyone's pointing to the sign. It's obviously going to happen. So, but yeah, that was that. And then it just ended up like this, everybody fighting and stuff like that. And I'm pretty sure there was like, another footage of them still fighting and stuff like that. But it's Smackdown. Smackdown's on USA, and they got like a time limit and stuff like that. But I don't know. I don't know. I heard a lot of people complaining about that segment and stuff like that, but it's like, what more did you want? You know, it's like, did you need them to say? Did you need them like to talk to you? Be like, this is what's going to happen. We're going to challenge each other for the fucking match and the triple threat match, because it's like, I'm like, I thought it was like pretty obvious. Like, right? Like, for me, I'm like, oh, why do we need to like? It is like when H goes like Undertaker's in the ring and Triple H comes out. Triple H looks at the Undertaker and looks at the WrestleMania sign, and then Undertaker looks at Triple H and looks at the WrestleMania sign. I'm like, so they're having a match, right? Like, it wasn't really hard to figure out what's happening here, right? What's going on? It's not like, gee, I don't. What are they talking about? Why are they doing this? I don't. It's like, it's pretty obvious, right? It's pretty freaking obvious that they're having a triple threat match, right? So I don't understand why we need to have like a long ass conversation or some kind of a storyline. We already know what the fucking thing is. Roman Reigns think Punk screwed him. Fucking Roman Reigns screwed Punk. Seth Rollins just don't like neither one of these fucking goddamn two. And that's pretty much it. And Punk don't like Rollins. Rollins don't like fucking these people. Punk obviously don't like Roman. You know, we don't know what the favor is. You know, I mean, the favor, we don't know what the favor is. The favor could be Punk asked Paul Heyman to be in his corner. Who knows? I don't know. All I know is that we're getting a triple threat match at WrestleMania. This is what I know. Or this is the feeling that I know. I don't know for sure, but I'm like 99% sure. So we still got 4 more weeks. Like, everybody needs to relax and calm down and just chill out. We got 4 weeks to get things going, to get things happening and stuff like that. I think it's gonna be great. I'm looking forward to WrestleMania, the surprises. That's what I'm looking for. I'm looking forward to the surprises. But anyways, that is all for today. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you was able to watch my other videos. I did talk about is AEW too violent. Anyways, I will see you in my next video. Okay, bye.